My name is Natalie Perez, and I have an interview with the main frontwoman of the band Walls of Jericho on August 24th, 2012. First off, you guys were, of course, on a mini break / hiatus. So when did Wall of Jericho decide to get back together?
Okay. So, we weren't on a mini break hiatus. I got pregnant and had a baby.
Oh, cool.
So, we got back together about a year after I got pregnant. I got pregnant and had my baby Cassie August 1st. And then the first tour we did after that was the Persistence tour in January. So I wanted to make sure, I didn't want to leave until she was old enough for me to leave her. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't, unfortunately, there probably lack of press or whatever, that we just didn't have it out there that, that I got pregnant or anything. So no break, no hiatus, it was kind of more something that had to happen, which, I know doesn't happen very often with bands.
Yeah.
But, so it wasn't like we took a hiatus and decided to get back together. We never broke up. Mm-hmm. I just couldn't tour.
Yeah, I think that's what some of the fans were thinking, like, well, where are they? What happened?
Yeah, I just couldn't go on tour. Clearly I couldn't play shows while I was pregnant, and so.
All right. Can you tell me about the band name Walls of Jericho and where it came from and what does it mean?
Okay, it was actually in the band before I was.
Right.
A few of the members were a part of this band called Earth Mover from Detroit, and they had parted ways. And so a few of the guys decided to start another band, and then that's when they started looking for a singer. And so they kind of already had this name picked out then. And from what I was told, that guitar player Mike liked the name because of the band Halloween. It was like an older metal band called Halloween, and they had a record called The Walls of Jericho. And then our bass player Aaron knew that Walls of Jericho, where it actually came from, was from in the story that he liked it because of the story. So there's a story in the Bible that talks about the Walls of Jericho, and basically it was a place that was shut in by the Walls of Jericho, and inside the city were criminals, and it talks about the trumpet sounding and people going and tearing the walls down. So he really enjoyed the story. Mike also liked it because of the other bands. So that's kind of how it came about.
All right. Are there any plans for new music or nothing yet?
There is plans. We've actually been writing, just not exactly sure when things are going to happen with it. But for a little while, we have probably since January or something, we started kind of writing stuff. Our guitar player Chris is in another band, so it kind of makes things a little slower in the process for us. Also, I live in in Boston, Massachusetts now. Yeah. Area, and the rest of the members live in Michigan and Ohio, so we're not exactly that close. We do everything over the internet now, so it's just going to take a little time.
All right. What is your favorite song to play live from any of the albums that you guys have released?
Let's see, I'm trying to think. I don't know why I'm blanking. Little Piece of Me is always a lot of fun, but Revival never goes out of style. Hands down, it's the funnest song that we play live, and that has a lot to do with the crowd response. it's the last song. If we're on a stage that's, like, at a festival that's high, we at that point can, like, jump down and like, be a part of the crowd, and get people to sing along. I mean, we all personally would rather play in, like, more of an intimate setting, like smaller clubs with no barrier whatsoever, because, like, that's just what we grew up with. That's, you know, what hardcore used to be. And now there's this disconnect between the stage and the actual kids that are there. And so that's, you know, we get to break that, and we get to be a part of what is going on with the kids, and, you know, jump around with them and sing along with them. So that's probably my favorite song.
Great. What's the best and worst shows that you've played?
Best show. There's probably been, we played so many shows. There's so many good shows that we have played. Let me think. Dresden is always amazing. Every time we play Berlin, it's always incredible. We just played Hellfest in France, and that was just tons of people. You know, tons of people. They're like everybody going crazy. We got like the biggest circle pit there could be. You know, anytime we've done like Persistence Fest, that's always fun, especially when it's like the smaller venues. Worst show, gosh. Well, there was a show in Puerto Rico that we actually only played 3 songs and had to stop playing because like the cops came. So that was a pretty bad show.
That's crazy.
But hi, Patty. When there's mud involved or rain, that's always a horrible show. We did one, the Family Value tour that we did, there was actually a hurricane, and it was an outside venue, and we were on the water. It downpoured, and there's probably 20 kids watching us, and so, but we made, you know, we had fun with it. We all dressed up like pirates and ran around on stage and had a good time, you know, like.
Cool, at least you made the best of it.
There's no real, like, such thing as, like, a bad show, unless it just doesn't happen.
All right. How did you get asked to be a part of the Hell on Earth tour that's coming up?
Well, we had talked to M.A.D., the booking agent, about how we wanted to come back and do a tour, but the tour was, like, you know, Dustin Fortisonner, my husband, is the guitar player in that band, and so we wanted to do something that was like our band playing together. And so we knew that like we had done Hell on Earth actually a few years back, and we knew like the timing kind of would work, and so you know that was basically just like it would be nice for us to be able to do a tour that we're not jumping on, you know, like that we can headline and that we can get bands that we want. And hit as many places as we can in a short amount of time, because our daughter is actually coming on tour with us.
Cool.
So it'll be her first time seeing Europe. And so.
Cool.
So since we had such a good time with Hell on Earth before, we just thought like might as well come back and try to do that again, you know, do it again.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good vibe. I personally like Hell on Earth because it's like that middle ground. Like, festivals are fun, but like I said, the stages are huge and far away from the kids. Like, there's not a lot of intimacy. Persistence Tour is it's very big now. Like, there are tons of kids every time you go. Again, it's kind of starting that whole, like, pushing us away from the crowd. There's barriers now. And so Hell on Earth, to me, is kind of bringing it back old school just a little bit. It's smaller settings, smaller crowds, and so it's way more intimate, and you can have so much more fun in that kind of situation. So.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, it's the kids who care. You know, like, that's, everyone goes. That's what you guys do. You know, everyone goes. It's a festival. Persistence Tour is so big, everyone just goes. You know, like, it's a big thing. It's a cool thing to go to. And so to me, it's like the real punk, the real metal, and real hardcore kids are the ones who come out to Hell on Earth to continue to support the bands that are coming out, you know, to keep their scene alive. So.
Yeah.
It's nice to be a part of it.
Yeah. Can you tell me about your side project called The Beautifuls, and are there any other projects that you have going on?
No other projects as of now. Honestly, like, we live a very, very full life. Like, both my husband and I are competitive power lifters, and so we train 4 days a week for that, and we, this past like year and a half, done like basically a meet every 4 months, and then with our daughter, like doing, and then playing The Beautiful. Like, that's pretty much all we can handle, and right now. So we're actually doing an acoustic thing next Thursday at a little punk rock place that our friend kind of puts shows on, and art shows and stuff. So that's just like, it's what we do for fun. You know, no pressure. We don't care, you know, if people like it or not. We just play the music we want to play, you know, that you can't actually play in a hardcore setting, you know. So it's a little more chill. But we both really appreciate music, so we like to hit it from all angles if we can, and The Beautifuls allow us to do that.
Yeah. Well, that's good. If you could go back and tell yourself something around when you were recording your debut EP, A Day in 1,000 Years, or your first debut, The Bound, Feed, The Gag, what would you say?
Oh my God. Take more time recording. That's probably what I would say. Because nowadays, like, you get about a month to record, and if you have like a good budget, you know, you get even more time to record your whole record. Back then, we recorded those records in 2 days.
Huh, cool.
2 days. We record all of the music and all of the vocals. And I mean, you can tell, because that's how hardcore bands did it then.
Yeah.
You know, you do it in your own home, like, or your friend's studio, and it was like really, really low budget, and it was all about it being more raw, though. It wasn't about it being produced. It wasn't about it being pretty. It was supposed to be dirty and and so, but you can tell it's hard to listen to that stuff nowadays. You know, it's hard to go back and listen to those records because they cannot, you know, they don't hold up with the times. But so that's probably what I would tell myself. Take a little more time with this. Yeah, I think so. I think because everything else, you know, I really still enjoy. We still even play a song from The Bound, Feed, The Gag. You know, we spoke. I was young. I was in high school still when the first record came out, and so, you know, we just spoke about the experiences we had in our lives, and so, you know, you can't ever regret that.
All right. What music have you been listening to lately, and who has, you know, influenced you out of that source of music?
God, let's see. I was just thinking, actually, I've been listening to a lot of punk recently, and then just, I listen to all sorts of music. Let's see. I was listening to that band Tilt. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're from the U.S. They're like an older punk band, but they were touring a lot during the time that I was like 15. And I actually remember one of the first zines that came out that had a picture of me, and it had a couple of other girls, like Girl from the Ashes, and like different bands. And I was next to the singer from Tilt, and I was like so excited because I respected her so much, and she really, like, you know, made me want to get up and just say whatever the heck I wanted to say, to show that women can do it and not have to, like, you know, just be this image that's on TV or in the magazines, like she was dirty, she was punk, she didn't care, she wore baggy clothes, you know, she lived a similar lifestyle. So, and yeah, there's just so many women, you know, but just because I just listened to that record not that long ago, I'll say her, you know, but Come here, baby. Sorry, Joan Jett. You know, there's so many. There's so, like, even someone like the Cranberries, the singer from the Cranberries. I've seen her live, and she had incredible energy, and she didn't stop moving the entire time. And, like, that's what's a good show. You know, someone who's having fun with everyone else that's there.
Yeah, yeah.
So all that kind of stuff influences me. It's not just the music or what style of music it is or what they look like. Come here, baby girl. Come here. But the women who weren't scared, you know, put themselves out there. That's who they were. You know, growing up, I liked all. If there was a woman in it, I'd listen to it just to see. You know, I loved whole Babes in Toyland. I would like girl music. I like any type of, but I liked everything. You know, I enjoyed the message that all of that brought. You know, it's very just like living that punk style.
Yeah, yeah.
Of not caring, but trying to also make a difference. It's, you know.
All right. If you could go back and change something on your last album, The American Dream, would you?
Jeez. I can't say, like, that's actually my favorite record out of all of them. I can put it on and listen to it. You know what I always like, though, is to have more guest vocals. I think that makes the record so much more fun. And, like, for us personally while recording, so that might be something I change. I'll probably get more guest vocals on it, you know?
All right. Have you ever just sat back and actually thought about, you know, your career and what you're doing? Like, man, I'm really in the band Walls of Jericho. Why am I doing this?
So far, so good. I mean, it's worked out for me so far. You know, I think, you know, having a baby, like deciding to have a baby, I mean, it definitely changed things. And it's, you know, I can only do this, you know, for small amounts of time now if we tour. So it makes me appreciate things a little bit differently. And it wasn't like we were still going full force and, like, the candle was, like, burning at both ends and, like, no one cared anymore. Like, you know, we still really enjoy what we're doing. We still have fun doing what we're doing. And now, like, it's going to be a little more few and far between for me to be able to do it. So I will definitely enjoy and appreciate the time that I get to go out and see the world, you know, and experience it with people that care to listen to our music. So luckily, you know, I don't really have any reps on that end. You know, I get to say I have a pretty awesome life. I get to hang out with my baby. I get to write music and play music. I get a lift, you know, and travel around the world and do all of it. So couldn't get any better.
Band, of course, has been around, you know, for a while, and you've toured the world and stuff. But what has been one place that you guys have not set foot in that you want to go to?
Egypt. I have not been to Egypt, and I would love to go. Yeah, and I think that goes for everybody in our band. That is actually a place that we've spoke about a lot. Another place is Alaska. We've actually never gone back to Alaska, and I was born there, but I have never been able to go back. So, I mean, that's some place that I wish that it would be amazing to go and play a show there.
Cool.
So who knows? They're very, very far from each other.
You'll make it eventually.
Yeah, we'll see, you know.
Yeah. What else can we expect to see from you guys between now and the end of this year? Anything?
Well, like I said, we have been writing some stuff, so just not sure. I can't say for sure. Like, what's going on? I just can't say for sure when I'm doing them. I don't want to do that to anybody. But, you know, we're going to come. We're going to do a tour. It's going to be a great time. It's been a while. Like, we played those few shows, and that was it. So, you know, we're all, like, itching to get on stage and have a good time and play those smaller settings. So you definitely expect a great and crazy show. So, you know, come be a part of it with us and have a good time. You know, that's for us honor, incredible band, great live. So, but who knows? You'll never know. You'll never know.
All right. And is there anything else you want to say to the fans out there?
Anything else I want to say? Besides just kind of plugging, I hope you guys see everybody at the show. We really do hope to see everybody at the show. It's going to be a kick-ass tour. Mm-hmm. And, like I said, we really, being that we have a family now, mm-hmm. It's going to be harder for us to actually get out and play. Mm-hmm. So, not saying it's going to be a while before you see us, but we just don't know. And it's probably going to be a little while before we can actually do an amazing tour like this again. Mm-hmm. Because after this, we'll have to really crack down. And if we're gonna do any music, we'll do music then. Yeah. After this tour. So, just come out. Come be a part of it. It's been a while since we've been in such an intimate, hardcore setting, and we hope everybody comes and be a part of it with us.